Hey Reggie, I am sorry to interrupt your evening, but I just had to call you because I saw this segment that is on the Art of Dialogue channel with Suge. It's about an hour long, and he makes some crazy allegations. I want to see if you saw it and if you had any response or any thoughts in regards to some of the stuff that he's saying, essentially about you and others.
Yeah, he mentioned my name. I know you're talking about me when he kept saying head of security. Oh man, I said I wasn't gonna talk about Suge no more. I really don't want to talk about him, so I'm gonna be trying to be as nice as I can. But he done make me gonna take off the gloves because he keep trying to insinuate that I had something to do with the murder of Tupac. And I know he's just doing this for fun because he said David Kenner, he said Snoop, he said me, he said Mob James. He just everybody that he's mad at. I told y'all he weaponized and blamed for the murder of Tupac Shakur. And matter of fact, while we're on that subject, rest in peace and shout out to the family and prayers for the Shakur family. Uh, R.I.P. to Asada Shakur, who passed away this weekend over in Cuba. But anyway, we'll get back to the subject. Suge Knight officially, y'all, in my mind, has dementia. He has dementia. I know Gap Tooth and all of them over there cheering along. Said, I told you. Reggie, well, I'm going to touch on two subjects. I'm going to show y'all why I say he has dementia, and I'm not even going to belabor it too long. Y'all remember when he was doing collect calls, he said this?
Other thing is this. I never, ever, ever gave Orlando Anderson $1 for me personally.
Okay. So now, yesterday on Art the Dialogue channel, he finally admits why he authorized the $60,000 payment to Orlando Anderson. He finally admits it. I told y'all while it was paid. I told y'all way back 2 years, 3 years ago is why I said it. When I said this.
But y'all think about this, and I know this for a fact. Reggie, Suge, David Kenner are stupid enough to give Orlando Anderson $60,000 before he goes and testify. Before he goes testify? Really? Man, that paperwork, and that was attorney paperwork that got done. It wasn't like no bag of cash just handed to him. Nigga, that was done through the attorneys and the agreement because they were suing Death Row for the assault and battery that took place on Orlando by all those Death Row employees. And so I know a lot of y'all be like, how y'all gonna give Tupac Killer this? How y'all gonna get? Number one, because we was trying to save Suge from going to jail. And number two, because Death Row Records and his staff and Tupac Shakur was worth a lot more than $60,000 at that time. That was peanuts. That was a trip to New York to us. That was a watch.
All right, so he pretty much saying the same thing that I said the reason why. Told y'all that was the only reason and the only play for giving Orlando the $60,000. I know a lot of y'all don't agree with it, but that was the play. All right, so we're not gonna trip on that too much. Well, John Hyland, I need you to read because who's ever putting stuff in his ear, just keep telling him that. And he kind of wanted to lie and say Frank told him, but told him this that night or that day when he came to the house in Vegas. He wanted to say it, but he wasn't for sure, so he couldn't go into it. But this is what he was trying to say. But if that was true that Frank told him that night, because I know snitch no joke and all, been telling him all these different things and all of that stuff. R.J. Bonds, everybody that's been in his ear. Frank didn't start that narrative about the no guns until 2004. He don't know this. This is what Frank was saying in 98, 99, or whenever he wrote his book and what he told Suge at his house. John, read this for him because I know a lot of these motherfuckers apparently have a hard time reading and understanding.
So in Frank's book, I'll put it up on the screen, but he says, my gun was in my car, a two-seater parked on the other side of the hotel. And I knew I couldn't say, hey, Suge, Pac, why don't you wait up a minute while I go over there to my car? It wouldn't happen. Once we were rolling, we were rolling. There was no time to make a run.
So then also I catch a lot of heat because people always say that I disarmed the people from carrying the gun and all of that. Well, listen to this audio where Frank tells y'all who was the one that tell them that they couldn't carry the gun in the club. The person that Suge Knight hired to make sure they get this club permits and off the ground. His attorney, George Calise. Listen to this.
In this particular time when I got to Vegas the night before September 6th, on September 7th, we had a meeting at this attorney's office. And at this attorney's office, his name was George Clinesis, something like that. And we were told by him, this attorney, that we couldn't carry our guns and this and that, blah, 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 to the club that night. And it was three of us, like Michael Moore was one of them, myself, and Al Gittins, who is still with Snoop to this day, said, no, we carrying our guns. We're going to, we worked it out to where we were going to carry our guns, but we were going to have to leave them in our car while we were inside the club. Okay. And that's how my gun ended up in my car and not on my person that day. And I didn't have time to get my gun because my gun was on the other side of the valet where I had parked earlier that day. And when Pac and Suge was ready to go, they were ready to go. And I couldn't get to my car. I had a SL 500 also, at that time. And I couldn't get to it, so I didn't have it. And Pac, I was getting in the car with Pac and Suge. I literally had my hand on the back door, opening the back door. And Pac stopped me and turned and said, hey, Frank, here's the keys to Kadada's car. You go drive with the Outlaws so you could be our designated driver and drive us back after we leave the club.
These are the reasons why Suge keep blaming me for having something to do with the murder of Tupac. Oh, my God. The man has dementia. And then there's this story about, oh, yeah. So now you're going to blame your mama for saying that I was kissing, tongue kissing and everything, your woman, after y'all leave the prison. But then you go and have a baby with her. You stayed with her up until about 2005, 2006. You bitch ass nigga. Wait till I send her that audio. But guess what? Tomorrow, Monday, going to bring y'all. Guess what? Y'all make sure y'all tune in Bomb First 9 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning, Monday morning, because I'm tired of Suge Knight. The audio of him talking about Tupac being in prison will be released. Peace.